What's up, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we will be looking at exercise 53 of our Python exercise tutorial series. Without any further ado, let's get to it. Exercise 53. In this exercise, you will create a program that reads words from the user until the user enters a blank line. After the user enters a blank line, your program should display each word entered by the user exactly once. The words should be displayed in the same order that they were entered. For example, if the user enters first, third, second, then your program should display first, second, third. Okay guys, so looking at this program, we can see that it's nothing too difficult. It's an interesting one. So basically, our goal is to kind of have some sort of logic in place that can catch those duplicate elements that are entered by the user as input. And so the goal is to literally display all elements only one time. Okay, if there's duplicates, we basically consider those duplicate values to be redundant. Okay, and another interesting thing is that they want the values to be in the order that they are entered. Okay, so notice in the text prompt, they gave us a little example, right? They say if the user enters first, third, second, then our program is displaying first, second, third. This is because, have a look at the input, guys. You see first was entered first, right? That's why it kind of took the first spot in the output. Because it was the first value to be entered, it was not entered before, so it will retain its position of first in the list. Then after that, the user entered second. It's the first time we are encountering this kind of value, so therefore that makes it unique. This means we can actually take this value, this element second, and it will be placed in the list. So that's why it appears second in the output. Then we see another first. But the thing is, first has already been entered by the user, right? It was the first input. And then we see it entered again. So this is basically the kind of input that is redundant. So we basically skip this. Next, third. Third has not been entered before. This element is unique. This string is unique. So which means it will take a spot in our output list. And we do see it. It is the third element. Then second, it's already been kind of sent into the program. This kind of input, second, that string was entered before, and so that's another redundant string we have. So that is why output here, order of output rather, is retained. I do hope this makes sense. Okay, so let's get to it. First things first, I will begin by initializing an empty list, call it words. Word will set up an input prompt. Word is equals to input. Please enter your word, or let's say please enter a word. And we also need to specify, press enter to quit. Okay, that's good. Moving on, guys, we'll proceed to set up a while loop. It's a simple while loop. While word is not equals to a blank string, we can enter this while loop and we can perform the necessary logic. So all we are doing is if word not in words, words dot append word. So this is simple logic, right? Simple list logic. What we are doing is, if the user is not entering a blank line, it means that, they want to continue entering input, right? Elements to be propagated into that list. That's why we enter the while loop. So within this while loop, we check if that input that was entered, that certain or specific word, if it's not already in our words, our list of words, then we'll take the word that they entered and we'll append it, or rather, add it into that list. So that's that. Um, Another very important thing we cannot overlook is the fact that we need the while loop to continue running, right? And the way in which we do that is simply by copy pasting that input prompt inside the while loop. So that concludes the while loop portion of the code. Next, we need to take care of giving the user output. So this is easy. Guys, remember, right? They said that our program is going to display something like this. And the most important thing, that one can see when they look at this little preview of output is basically the fact that each element is on a new line. So the most common way in which we can do that when iterating through a sequence is by using a for loop. So so you can call this anything you like, right? It's a temporary variable. You can say for I in words, print I, or you can say for word in words, print word. It's up to you. So let's leave it as word since we are dealing with text. That's good. And guys, we've actually completed this exercise, right? We've successfully coded this program. So now let us test our code to see, if everything works as required. So Control Enter if you are in Spider. Let's first test the program on the input that they wanted us to test it on. So first, second, first, third, second, and now I hit enter and it should end the while loop and give us some output. So yeah, that's excellent, guys. We see first, second, third. This is a cool program because it really is testing our knowledge of sequences, right? The fact that we need to use the not in, and as I said, there's many ways to go about doing this program. I'm merely here to give you a guide and a little bit of insight into what one potential solution can look like. Now, as I was saying, so this is a very, very interesting program because lists in general, they are very important in Python. If you look at the programming language, at the overview of the programming language, you'll see that lists are not only, they are not as they appear to be, right? They are not limited to only that. What I mean is that lists, okay, so there's this thing called data structures and algorithms in Python, right? And just like how you have tuples, dictionaries, lists, sets, and so on, all of those ones that I just mentioned, list, dictionary, etc., they are data structures in Python. And there's this entire topic dedicated to data structures in Python. It's you'll often hear them call it DSA because it stands for data structures and algorithms, right? And the point I'm trying to make here is that these simple list objects that we work with at this portion of our journey in Python, it forms the backbone for an entirely, I would say, uh, I wouldn't call it different, right? It's an entirely complex. A good way to describe it is that lists form the backbone of other data structures that exist in Python. Okay, so you get stuff like linked lists, you get stuff like linked queues, and so on. And behind all of that, backing all that up, is the raw, the simple list that we see, right? The square bracket. So I just wanted to let you know about that. And also, you'll find that lists, even though they appear to be simple at this stage, believe it or not, when you get to the data structures and algorithms stage, object orientation is such an important concept. Guys, you need to be very, very comfortable to code in Python using object-oriented paradigm. Okay, object-oriented programming paradigm is what's going to and will allow you to have the best understanding of data structures and algorithms in Python if you are ever going to, you know, consider learning DSA. So that's that. Let's continue testing this program. This was a fun one. So let's do some simple input. Let's do A, B, C, D, E. Let's do G, F, G, H, J, and let's hit enter. A, B, C, D, E, G. Yep, that's right. We are supposed to get this little kind of mixed up order because of the way in which my input was structured. So that's good. Um, and just so we are actually not limited to only using like how do I phrase it? Letters. Like, I mean, as much as it is a string, technically the input prompt captures anything as a string. So you can test out the complexity of this program by using numbers and digits and letters and so on, just to check if it really can catch any kind of string. So let's do I'm randomly picking stuff here, right? Let's do 13 FEB. Let's do 30, or let's do 30 DEC. Let's do 13 FEB again. Let's do 14 DEC. Let's do 30 APR. Let's do 19 OCT. Let's do 30 APR. And yeah, let's hit enter. And indeed, we see that there are no duplicates. So according to the input we entered, right, 13 Feb is the first value of the output, which we see there. Next comes 30 DEC, which we see there. 13 FEB will not be taken into consideration now because it's already got its spot in the output list. Next, we see 14 DEC, which is correct. 30 APR. This is the first time we are seeing this, so it will be the next one as we see. 19 OCT, there's it here. And 30 APR is not considered because it's already got its space in the output list. So with that, we have successfully and efficiently and effectively completed exercise 53 of our Python programming exercise tutorial series. Thanks for watching till the end, guys. With that, good luck with your work, and I'll see you in the next YouTube video.